Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you, especially my lionesses. People, let's sit back and just laugh for a moment here. So what did we find out this morning? So this big inflation report. I mean, they've been talking about this thing as if it's the second coming or something here. And we did get, well, I don't want to say a shock or a surprise, not to you or me, but guess what the core of this entire thing is? Inflation continues to rise now. If you were to watch Bloomberg, Fox Business, CNBC, they don't get it. They don't get it. The commentators, they don't understand. Why is inflation continuing to rise when the Federal Reserve is engaged in this knockdown, drag down fight to stop inflation? They don't understand it. Look, of course they understand it. They are just freaks that are sent out there because maybe they look pretty or handsome in their nice suit and ties to get people into, completely disoriented with what reality is. There is no inflation fight at all. As a matter of fact, you know this better than anybody else on this freaking planet right now. Central banks are going out of the way to continue to inflate. They're not going to stop. They can't stop. That's the lie that is being sold to the people of the world, and it's unprecedented in my view here. People cannot be allowed to know the fact that if central banks stop inflating, the nanosecond they stop inflating, this whole charade will melt down. Now, I know what you did this morning. I know what every single one of you did this morning. You went out and checked the MMRI right after the CPI report came out. Did you see what happened? Boom! MMRI dropped. It's 233 at the time I am doing this video blog. The 10-year yield dropped. US dollar dropped. So what does this tell you? The market is going higher. The market is going higher. We have one fly in the ointment, one, and that is crude oil. This morning, crude oil is under pressure because of demand concerns yet again. I don't care what they're going to do to crude oil in the short run here. I can pretty much say with nearly 100% certainty that energy, including obviously crude oil, is going much higher moving forward. You all know this. So that's the big thing that you and I and the world has been waiting on as the propaganda ministry, the CPI report, the CPI. Yeah, well, imagine my shock and yours when we find out that inflation continues to rise. It's not going to stop. And these brain-dead imbeciles, okay, because that's what they are, at the mainstream propaganda ministries, they just, look, they cannot tell you the truth. They will not tell you the truth. They can't do it. Okay, none of them are surprised unless they're really that stupid, and I don't think they are. Maybe some of them are. I don't know, because all they do is sit there, as I said, and look pretty and handsome and read a script here. Oh, really? Why? What's going on here? Make it up. Make any of this stuff up. All right, so let's go back here. On the back of the MMRI falling, the 10-year yield dropping, the US dollar falling in a relative strength basis here. You got gold catching a slight bid. Silver is down this morning. And we're talking about the paper derivative here. Okay, no real gold or silver is passing hands here, exchanging hands. It's just fake. Okay, like everything else here. You got cryptocurrencies right now. I would say relatively flat, slightly higher here. Okay, and I already told you about crude oil. So that's the story. Nothing major, nothing, I don't think, earth-shattering here, at least to you and I. We knew and we continue to know that inflation will rise. As a matter of fact, check this out. New car prices hit an all-time record high. That's part of the whole thing too, okay? It's not going to stop. The pressure on the middle class is going to continue to increase. Unfortunately, again, you got people out here looking for some kind of divine intervention. It's not going to happen, all right? It's just not going to. Central banks got the world by the throat and by the you-know-whats, okay? Period. And this mechanism which has been put in place from a long time ago is only going to get worse because central banks, again, they are determined, and nothing is going to get in their way. Nothing, not even divine intervention, because that ain't coming, okay? They are determined to fulfill their end game. That paper I read to you yesterday, Global Financial Impact, okay? It's in your inbox if you subscribe to my free newsletter. Read it. This is what it's all about, okay? So start to think about what this means for you, okay? What it means for you as well as we continue to move closer and closer to an all-out world war, because that's where we're going here, okay? All the pawns are in place here. The chess pieces are being moved all around the board, and this has been building up for quite a long time. What is it going to mean to you when this war expands? What is it going to mean to you when inflation continues to rise even higher? How are you going to make ends meet? Unfortunately, we already know how the vast majority of middle-class people are making ends meet. They're borrowing. They're swiping those credit cards in record numbers. People, again, no surprise to you, personal debt, household debt, credit card debt at all-time record highs. Citizens of the world today, middle-class citizens of the world today, are carrying their highest debt burdens ever in history. And this mechanism, what is it doing? It's creating more slaves to the system. That's what this is all about. If you think for a second that central banks did not plan this all out from decades ago, we are living in the side effect of what central banks have already put in place and planned a long time ago. And who know? I was going to say who knows what else they have in store for us, but we already know what they have in store for us. They're going to continue to inflate. They're going to use the propaganda ministries to say, oh, there's a big fight going on. Central banks are really trying to slow down inflation. They're trying to stop and even reverse inflation. No, they could do that today. If central banks really wanted to stop inflation, what would they do? What would they do? What has Greg Mannarino been telling you since time immemorial? They would contract the money supply. They would, right now, financial institutions do not have to hold any capital in reserve. Zero. So if the Federal Reserve, let's just use the Fed in this case, were to tell the major institutions, hey, you know what, you need to increase your capital reserve requirements to above zero, let's even say 2%, we could contract the money supply and inflation goes away. But you can't know this stuff, okay? You'll never hear that from the propaganda ministry, and you are well aware of this, people. It's a game. It's a charade on an unprecedented scale. So what can you expect here? What can you expect to happen? Looking forward, inflation is going to continue to rise. Okay, perhaps, maybe the pace of how fast it's rising will slow, but it will continue to rise anyway. And that's what they're gonna twist this. Mark my words. The propaganda ministry is going to go out of its way to tell you that, well, inflation is still rising, but you see, the pace is slowing down. So this is a good thing. So get on your hands and knees and be thankful to whatever God you pray to, okay, that this is happening. You need to be thankful for this. You need to love your enemies and turn the other cheek and pay Caesar what's due to Caesar. Are you kidding me? Where did this stuff come from? Okay. Anyway, make any of this stuff up and it's impossible to do. Okay. No, in this situation here, we know who our enemies are, and we have to do everything in our power to raise awareness and tell you the truth, we need a revolution. We need to destroy these institutions because they're destroying us all. Okay, this is no time to be passive. Okay, we need to take action. That's what we need to do. Because if you think this is going to get any better for anybody, especially you, if you're a member of the middle class, you are way off course here. Come about. Understand? See what I'm saying here, people? Anyway, look, gauging from what we're seeing, the action this morning in the 10-year yield coming down, and the relative strength of the dollar coming down, who's buying the debt? Who just today, this morning, when this miraculous number came out, who's in here buying all the debt? It's not me. It's certainly not you. We know exactly who's doing it, and we knew it was going to happen. We have been well aware, and I've never deviated from this, okay, that central banks are going to do more. They're going to buy more debt. And why would they want to do that? Because they want to continue to inflate. You know that. We know their goal. We know their end game. So you and I are light years ahead of the curve. Light years ahead of the curve. You understand? All right, people. This guy here loves you a lot, and I mean that from the heart. Please share the video. Get it out there. I want to hear from you as well. And I will see all of you at the end of the day. Post-market for my live stream. 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do a live stream again. And I want you to have questions for me. Okay? I will address as many as I can. Yesterday that went on for almost 30 minutes. And I do appreciate all of you. I really enjoy it. I hope, honestly, I'll be honest. I woke up this morning and I did get a lot of negative feedback, okay, with regard to the live stream. I don't understand why so many people don't like the live stream. That's the truth. I don't get it. But anyway, let's try to keep that going for a while. And we'll see where that goes. All right. Love you a lot. I will see you later.